Welcome to our den of madness, where we serve only the trickiest of treats.
Enter the halls of questionable artistry, if you dare.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Late Crap. My name is Bri, and I hope you love boobies.
And my name is Gio, and I apologize greatly for this if anybody I know is watching this.
Alas, the curse of being friends with me. Boy, how do you even start with this?
Well, I suppose if we were going to do Spooky Month, this was going to be inevitable. Like, I am surprised. What episode number are we on? Like,
I think this is episode 19?
Yeah, so somehow it's taken us this long to address the true king of the crap, the Roger Corman of the 50s and 60s himself, Mr. Edward Davis Wood Jr.
And what a character he is.
Oh, dear mother of God. I'm going to just put it like this. I have 4 pages of notes for today's movie, and about half of that is just dedicated to Ed Wood himself, because my God. So, before we get too deep into that, I should mention that today's piece is a nice little ditty, the 1965 Orgy of the Dead. Yes, that is what it's called.
Which, by the way, I appreciate that you rhymed ditty with titty. And also, I think this is our first 60s movie.
I want to say yes to that. Yeah, I think so.
There's many reasons why I wanted to watch this movie, but I'm kind of excited that we're exploring more of the 50s and 60s, which to me is the golden era of the schlock.
Oh me, oh my, and is this the definition of schlock? Well, if we wanted to talk about schlock, there's nobody better to talk about. So, before we get too deep into these members of the dead and their orgy,
Deep.
I think it is important to talk about our good Mr. Wood, and this joke is going to happen at some point. Yes, the guy who makes a lot of creepy schlock, his name is Wood. Ha ha ha, insert your jokes here. But anyways, so Ed Wood was, as I said before, to the 50s, 60s, and 70s what Roger Corman would be in later years. A guy specializing in more low-budget, schlocky stuff. So during the 50s, his movies were more focused on, like sci-fi, crime, horror. It was during this time he came out with probably his 2 most notorious outputs, Glen or Glenda, and Plan 9 from Outer Space, which both of them are going to be a little important for later. But by the time the 60s and 70s rolled around, he instead shifted his focus to what were called at the time nudie cuties, but what we would call now as more erotic, pornographic movies.
Which, boy, I mean, this is how deep our friendship is, because who among us doesn't watch softcore porn with our friends?
I feel like this is payback for springing boobs on you during Dragon Lives Again.
Hey, look, I wasn't complaining.
Dear. But yeah, with that in mind, today's little gem is seen as like kind of the transitional point between him doing horror movies and him doing, the booba. Now, you cannot talk about Ed Wood without bringing up probably the most critical fact in regards to Ed Wood, the fact that he was a very well-documented cross-dresser. So notorious, in fact, that it actually resulted in both his first relationship and his first marriage both ending because both of his prior loves could not handle everything about that. And there was several, and I mean several instances in his movies where he would portray a woman, not the least of which was Glen or Glenda.
But I feel like we should preface this I mean, Ed Wood, for all intents and purposes, historically, we're assuming was cis. I'm in the camp of, and again, I don't like to categorize anyone. I don't necessarily think Ed Wood was trans. If anything, I feel like he would possibly fall under more gender queer because Guy was notorious womanizer. So
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Like, he was very, very notorious as a womanizer, and he insisted throughout his life that he wasn't gay, and that just because he did dress up as a woman, it didn't mean that. It's weird because he insisted that there was no sexual factor to it. He insisted that he wasn't gay just because he was cross-dressing. But he was also quoted as saying that if he could be reincarnated as anybody, it would be as a blonde woman. So there's really no way to know for sure. But in regards to his cross-dressing, as he started doing more and more sexually charged works, he would film all of them in drag. And he even had a name for his female alter ego, Shirley, a name that actually pops up in quite a lot of his films, including this one. But again, he insisted that he wasn't gay. This was not a sexual thing for him. And again, he had a reputation as a womanizer. Now, onto a more serious and sad subject. A lot like Paul Lynde from our last time out, Ed Wood had pretty long-term problems with drinking and alcohol. And in 1978, he was evicted from his home, lost a bunch of his unfinished scripts, and pretty much fell into 3 days of a drunken stupor. And at the end of those 3 days, he unfortunately suffered a heart attack and passed away.
yeah, Ed Wood is interesting in both the films that he made and also just a complete and utter tragedy that his life was. Because unfortunately for like Ed Wood, drug problems aside, he was kind of in between, and the era of Hollywood of like the B movie was quickly dying out, and then the blockbuster was just above the horizon. So there really wasn't as much of a place for an Ed Wood anymore, which definitely hastened the drug problems. And also, like, this is also like a less funny, this actually isn't funny at all. This is a completely serious note. But his addiction issues also kind of passed over to his spouse, and both of them were deeply in the alcohol. They constantly got into domestic disputes. So, unfortunately, not a very happy ending.
No, not at all. But to get back into our topic of today, Wood, with his movies, had quite a few people that he collaborated with frequently. One of them just so happened to be Bela Lugosi. Yes, the Bela Lugosi you are thinking of. Bela Lugosi, most of his later years were spent collaborating with Ed Wood, and even though Orgy of the Dead, I believe, was filmed after his passing, apparently one of his capes makes an appearance in this.
Ooh.
And another person that he was a frequent collaborator with was a Bulgarian filmmaker by the name of Steven Apostolov, who was actually the actual director of Orgy of the Dead. Wood had other roles with this movie, but we'll get to them in a bit. And another frequent guest of his, a fella by the name of the amazing Criswell. And boy, howdy is this guy his own can of worms. This was the third Ed Wood picture that Mr. Criswell was involved in, the other ones being the infamous Plan 9 from Outer Space, and also Night of the Ghouls, a movie which actually was not released until 1984, because the bills weren't paid to the film lab that was developing the movie. Now, Criswell was a TV and radio quote-unquote psychic whose predictions were more often than not completely wrong. Some of the choice selections on this included the fact that the world was going to end on August 18th, 1999, which would have been his 92nd birthday, and also that Denver would be struck by an alien space ray that would have turned all metal in the area into rubber.
It turns out Denver was instead hit by weed.
Close enough.
I mean, technically, if you get high enough, his prediction did come true.
I guess that's one way of looking at it. So, a few of his characteristics were he had this really booming, authoritative voice, and he also claimed to sleep in a casket. Did we mention that there is a lot of weirdness surrounding this movie? Because, oh boy, we have not even gotten into the production drama of this thing. Like, the backstage drama for Orgy of the Dead would make Menahem Golan blush. So, to begin with, our fairy tale for the day had a very, very, very steep budget of 10,000 clams.
Woo!
Which, even by the standards of 1965, was like almost nothing. You want to compare that to today, that would be just a little over 100,000 in today's money. In case you want to know what we're dealing with.
Yeah, that's like 1/4 Blair Witch, I think.
Now, Wood, as I said before, he was not the director. He was the writer, the production manager, the casting agent, and also he held up the cue cards, which apparently Criswell had difficulty reading without his glasses. Oh boy. Now, I mentioned Golan before and his mid-filming firings that he partook in. Well, the same thing happened here, as Apostolov, midway through the filming, fired the dance coordinator, which, if you've ever seen a single dance number from this movie, yeah, that's kind of on point.
Which, by the way, the one dance number, which we've both seen, is kind of what inspired us to watch this, because we were like, okay, we have to.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now, I did mention before Ed Wood's problems with alcohol. Well, rumor has it, he actually stole money from the budget of this movie so he could go buy some booze. And apparently he was so blackout drunk during the filming of this movie that he nearly passed out. And this led to a falling out with Apostolov where he refused to work with him for 7 years after this. As for the movie itself, well, it's got a lot of tropes that are typical of Wood's fiascos, which are blatantly fake props, poor use of stock footage, and completely nonsensical dialogue. And apparently the bulk of this movie is just made up of strip teases. Oh dear God, I am actually about to watch porn.
And you know what? I don't know. I've watched some crazy shit, which I will not get into because no one needs to know that. But in all seriousness, I'm really kind of excited to watch this movie because this kind of ticks, one of my many boxes of things that will piss Bri off, but in the context of this will make her very happy to see.
You can just say booba.
Believe it or not, it's actually not the booba. Because let me just tell you, I look at myself every day. Yeah, I'm fine. I've gone to art museum. I have a good mental imagery of the booba. I'm more interested in how do we set up the booba.
That's not putting yourself on a pedestal a bit. I don't care about booba. I look at myself every day. I mean,
look. I don't want to say packing, but anyway, no. I go to museums. I'm tasteful. I swear to God, I'm tasteful. My pedestal is just the little step stool that you get to putting the trash into the dumpster. So you know what? Yes, I'm a raccoon. Sue me.
Well, I mean, ringtail lemurs do kind of have the same color shade as raccoons.
And they're also smelly. They release sweat glands. Actually, lemurs are kind of disgusting as creatures. But you know what? They're adorable.
Let's just leave it at that and watch this.
Okay, so...
whatever it is.
I know. Which, we're going to have commentary, but this is probably going to be the first movie where... we don't do our YouTube shorts for all of our movies, but I don't think we're going to be able to do any for this one.
Probably not, no. Well, at least we know there's no chance of YouTube marking it as for kids.
You know what the ironic thing is? That'd be the one time they would mark something as kids, because YouTube is just a trash fire right now. Well, actually, let me correct myself. YouTube's always been a trash fire. But anyway.
Yeah, but they're an extra special trash fire at the moment.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, indeed. But anyway, just to reiterate the house rules here of the podcast. I'm sure there's a trailer bullshit thing. We'll play a little bit of that. And then once we come back after we watch the movie, we'll give you our thoughts.
Have you ever seen an orgy? An orgy of the dead? If not, let us show you a few scenes from our own Orgy of the Dead. Join the Master of the Dead and his equally infamous Princess of Darkness as they judge the beautiful Gold Girl and her sister companions. See, the Indian girl who tossed her lovers into fires and now must dance with fire. See, the bride who murdered her husband and now must dance perpetually before his skeleton. See, the voluptuous cat girl as she reacts to the whips of pleasure. See, the Gold Girl who worshipped gold above all else. Her reward is complete transformation into solid gold. Shocking, terrifying, bizarre, and thrilling. Why don't you join us? Join the Orgy of the Dead. Coming to you in flaming color and widescreen soon.
I want my money back for false advertising. Those people did not look dead, and there certainly was no orgy.
Yeah. I kind of made this joke in the middle about how it would be an interesting case study to stalk a theater full of straight men, put this movie on, and see how many of them leave gay. Because holy crap.
Normally we would do a plot summary. This is the first movie that we've watched that I think both of us can say, in all honesty, has no plot.
Oh, there was nothing even resembling a plot in this. Y'all want to know what happens in this movie? Two people crash their car into a cemetery. They walk in and they see Discount Dracula and Discount Elvira watching a bunch of topless ladies awkwardly dance for way, way, way too long. And that's the movie. That is the entirety of the movie. 90% of this thing is just awkward, topless dancing. And it is the most unsexy shit you will ever experience. Oh my god.
It was like, when I'm watching this, I was like, do I even like sex anymore? Am I just like ace now? Like, that was my whole thing. Like, I wasn't even repulsed. I was like, I literally feel nothing.
Like, this had to have been the most boring, pathetic attempt at trying to be titillating that has ever been put to screen.
And I was talking during commentary. I love how, I guess if you were to put any sort of plot to this discounting, like, towards the end of the movie where they have to be like, oh shit, we have some sense of urgency. Well, the sun's gonna come out soon. I guess is that basically the plot of this movie is just cats. Where they have like the Jellicle choice, except the Jellicle choice is just, awkward stripteases. Which I guess is still technically what Cats kinda is.
But, like, here's the thing. I wouldn't even call what they're doing strip teases. Y'all want to know how it goes in every single instance?
But one. Literally one. They don't do that.
No, this is literally how every single scene in this movie goes. Y'all ready for this? So it's basically lady in some bad and in some instances stereotypical costume comes into frame, does some really awkward dances. We cut to Criswell and Discount Elvira, and in other instances, the Wolfman and the Mummy just awkwardly looking. Hard cut back to the lady who is suddenly naked. Well, not entirely naked, because in every single instance, they all still have their panties on.
By the way, look, I don't have like a favorite part of the body, but there is criminally low levels of ass.
So we cut back to all that shit, and then it's just anywhere from 5 to even close to 10 minutes each. Rinse and repeat like 10 times, and it just gets more and more painful with each and every one. When I say this was so unsexy that, oh my god, like so much just awkward boob jiggling and like just nothing. Just absolutely nothing.
Yeah, like the boob is like she's holding a shake. Wait, it's like,
Oh my god, it is. I mentioned during commentary that we called War of the Worlds 2025 embarrassing. I don't think we knew what embarrassing was back then.
I know, a whole ass month ago.
I mean, my god. Like, in any other sleaze fest like this, you would expect all the focus to be on the booba and the ass. None of that here. I mean, yeah, we got tons of booba shaking, but like the way that this movie is filmed, it just does not like focus on any of that.
And in some cases, some of the shots aren't in focus at all.
Yeah, there were some instances where the shots were just completely like blurry and out of focus. Yeah, like she went to grab the hook. No, she is trying so hard not to grab the hook.
Because it's a real skeleton and no one wants to touch that because that would be weird. Oh my god, that shot's out of focus.
Oh my god. Like, and there's a string. You can see the string.
And this whole shot's out of focus.
God.
But no, that's why none of them have touched it, because it's the same skeleton, because they're actual human remains and no one wants to touch them. Because that's weird.
And I also mentioned this during commentary about how one of my big criticisms of the Sherlock movie was that they just stayed on some scenes and some shots for way too long. I would like to formally apologize for that assessment, because I did not know what lingering on a scene was.
You know, if I could say anything nice, is that this completely got rid of my imposter syndrome. Any lingering imposter syndrome that I had at all being an editor.
Oh, the editing. The editing. Let's get into the editing of this movie.
Oh, yes.
Like, aside from the fact that scenes go on for way, way, way too long, how about the music?
Oh my god.
Like, not only is the music terrible, but it loops awfully. Like, the song will just end and then just restart like 2 minutes later, and then when they're done with that dance, the music just cuts.
Or in some cases, they'll have like a gong, like, doing.
Which I am fully convinced was them just banging on a trash can.
Oh my god, they just looped the track again! Did you hear that?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Oh god. Yeah, and you know what the other thing is? I'm sorry, like, because I'm trying to give this, like, legitimate criticism. Like, the way the camera angles are shot are, like, weird. It's, like, above or, like, below. It's, like, not just focused. And I don't know what it is, but they're, like, afraid of doing close-ups. I'm like, it's an areola. Like, get over it. Oh, and again, I'm just, like, I know they're supposed to be strip teases, but just, this is, like, again, a personal thing. I'm annoyed that the panties are still on. Because at this point, it's like, why even bother?
Oh, still going.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll loop a third time. And then I was talking about the song from Doug. Banging on a trash can. Da 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 da.
And there was one really awkward, like, trumpet solo. Oh, but probably the worst of it all was the fucking mummy. His ADR on his voice was god awful.
I don't know if he did it on, like, a tape recorder, or I'm wondering if someone had, like, a megaphone, like, off to the side and was just saying it there. And the guy was miming.
If you thought the ADR in the Apple was bad, oh no. Like, his voice does not even sound like it's coming from his body. At all.
No, he sounds like he's coming through a Burger King drive-thru.
God. Like, there is just no end. There is no end at all to the blunders of this shit. It's just awkward dances trying to be sexy. I just want to point out, Ed Wood was 41 years old when this movie filmed. This is shit that not even a teenager would find sexy. And, like, here's the thing. They are just so, like, cowardly with it. Because like 90% of the time, you don't even see the ladies like taking off their clothes. It's just awkward dance, hard cut to the creepy psychic, hard cut back. Oh, she's topless now. And every single one is just her. It's like, if you've already got her down to like her panties, then just go all the way.
Exactly, which is what I was saying. I'm like, no bush, like nothing. I mean, like, this is so unsexy. And also, because I said this during our commentary too, legit, like, I have felt more things, or like, I guess aroused would be the right word. I'm trying not to sound like a total creep, but just for the sake of argument, I have felt like more things watching Jessica Rabbit during the nightclub sing when she sings "Why Don't You Do Right" than I did here. And that Who Framed Roger Rabbit is PG. Not PG-13, just PG.
Well, hey, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, they actually knew how to frame a scene.
Yeah, thanks, Dean Cundy.
It's like, we know what this movie was supposed to be. It's trying to be sexy. It's trying to be porny. But, like, if you fail at even making your quote-unquote strip teases sexy, then what even is there to this thing?
Like, legit, like, Dragon Lives Again, I would say, was more closer to, like, porn than this was.
But at least that was entertaining. You could tell that people cared while making it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't, like, so stupid. It just... Only like that one girl, but oh my god. I feel like we should talk about the worst dance. By worst dance, we mean our favorite one. The cat girl.
Oh my god, I fucking broke when this thing happened.
You just said, no.
So, first of all, leading into that, we really, really need to talk about the dialogue in this movie.
Oh, god.
Oh my god.
I'm frightened.
We keep comparing it to all the shit we've watched so far. I'm frightened. I'm so frightened.
Hey, dude, no, it's not like that. You're emoting too much.
I'm going to give you to the Wolfman. Ah! Oh, and your personal favorite, no one wants to see a man dance.
Leave her alone, you fiend!
Fiend, is it? You will not be so fortunate. Your existence will cease within moments. No one wishes to see a man dance.
Excuse me. I take offense to that. Have you seen Magic Mike, sir?
You could do nothing.
I beg to differ.
I can save you much pain.
Leave her alone, I tell you!
But seriously, it was like the same things over and over again, and it did like the thing where it says like the same line, like your pleasure, like they're all the same. It's just, and the delivery. Oh my god.
It's like, we gotta apologize to War of the Worlds 2025. Like, this is some real like winners writing and delivery.
You wrote like a few quotes down because you had to go grab a pen because you're like, no, stop, I need to write this down.
Oh yeah, in the midst of running down some of the winners of this, I accidentally dropped my pen under my bed, so I had to run and find a new one. So let me recite a few of the choice lines this movie gifts us. My monsters have done well for me. Nothing alive looks like that, he says about a normal-looking lady. The night things were all about me. How can I think of pleasant things when I am surrounded by shadows of objects? Tie them, that they may watch. To love the cat is to be the cat. A pussycat is born to be loved. Torture, it pleasures me. I'm frightened. I'm so frightened. No one wants to see a man dance. Live with it. I should say die with it. She lived as a zombie in life. Oh my goodness. Like, I think we should dedicate more to, like, the individual dances, because there was just something so uniquely bad about every single one of them.
Let's start with, like our favorite, and by favorite I mean the worst, the cat girl dance.
Oh yes, the aforementioned pussycat born to be loved. Oh my god. This girl just hops out of the shadows in this leopard print onesie with a booba window, and all the while she's during her little awkward number, she's being like whipped by one of their weird guards in shorts. Oh, they changed pants. Oh no, 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 no.
What is
No,
this?
no, 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 no. I can't. Oh no.
Oh god, I just realized I couldn't tell what she's supposed to be at first, but I guess she's supposed to be a leopard.
Oh no.
Well, at least she's finally grinding. At least that's different. Well, at least that feels like one of my complaints that I'm like, there's not enough dry humping here.
I'm sorry,
So-
what did he just say? The pussycat is born to be a wolf? Or what?
Yeah, let's go back.
No, I need to hear this son of a bitch again. Let's
Okay,
I'm
trying to figure out where it says it.
as much as I do not want to see another minute of this,
A pussycat is born to be whipped.
oh, a pussycat is born to be loved.
I guess. Yeah, honestly, he's slurring. He might have been a little bit drunk too.
I wouldn't be shocked.
But I'll give them this. Like I was saying earlier, at least they switched it up. I was like, wow, there's like a disturbingly low amount of grinding here. So thank you, movie, for addressing that issue. Thank you for taking responsibility. What the hell is this? He's like, oh, God, I'm being turned on by this. Because this is the first time I've seen boobs in my life.
Also, I noticed there's paint on his head.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be his injury.
By the way, they kind of disappeared like halfway through the movie.
Oh, yeah, they kind of did. I guess they had to leave to do, like, probably, like, an actual porn shoot. Because I'm assuming by some of these names that they're all porn actors.
Yeah, would not be shocked. But God, not only are these dances awkward, some of them are just flat out racist.
Oh, God, yeah.
There's a Native American lady, there's a Spanish lady, there's I'm assuming a Hawaiian lady, and...
Oh, and a Mexican one. Because I remember I said I joked, I was like, oh, I made a Dia de los Muertos joke. And then they said she came to us on like Dia de los Muertos or something.
Yeah, El Dia de los Muertos. And yeah, not only are these dances also offensive, but does each have their own level of awkward. Probably.
Oh, God.
And like, I think the last like 3 before, not Elvira does her own little number. Like the last 3, I think in particular, were like really, really bad.
Oh,
like there was
God.
there was the bride lady who spent like half of it. Well, first she tried doing the worst rendition of the Carlton I've ever seen. And then she just spent the rest of her time like trying to like fake swim and like shaking her boobs and
like, you know what? I'll give her credit. She danced her heart out. Like, she's like, you know what? I'm gonna dance like nobody's watching. I might not be remembered for a lot of things, but I'll definitely be remembered for this.
you know what, sweetie? Good on ya. But oh boy. Oh, we didn't even talk about the skeleton.
Oh, yeah, so...
We did not even talk about the likely very real skeleton that they just kept reusing throughout this movie. That also had a hook in its head that you could clearly see.
Yeah, because I think what they had probably done is they probably bought like a medical skeleton that you would hang in like, a classroom or whatever, hence the hook in his head. But I can say I'm 99.9% sure that is an actual human skeleton. Because you could tell by the way that the face is feeling, because the thing is, I'm going to sound like a complete psychopath for this, but human bones, like, as they age, tend to go from, like, bleached white to brown. after a while, and they tend to have, like, shrinkage over time. And 3D printed or, like, plastic skeletons really haven't been, like, a thing until, like, 30 or so years ago. So, a lot of times you would, purchase, human remains where, that may or may not have been ethically sourced. It just depends. But, it happened. And basically you would buy these human remains, for like medical school or like dental school, and you would have them and you would study from them. I mean, clearly that's what this was. Oh, and also another fun fact, and Disney will never admit to this, but opening day Pirates of the Caribbean definitely had human remains. And if you go at the Disneyland version now, there is still clearly a human skull in there because it is a different color and it is shrunken compared to the other skeletons that have like long since been replaced with artificial ones. So that's some Disney magic for you.
Happiest place on earth. But yeah, you could definitely tell that they didn't want to touch this thing because like the whole time that the bride lady was awkwardly dancing around it, she was like moving her hands and like all around it, like trying not to touch it. Whenever she did it like above his head, you could tell that there was a string there because he would like boom, like
Yeah.
like some of this shit was so amateurish. Like there was that one instance where you could see Ed Wood's hand in the cue card just out of shot.
It was the cue card or like the clapboard. Oh, but that wasn't even my favorite one.
Oh yes, the best one was was where you could clearly see the boom operator like up in the corner, like hiding in the bushes.
It's like in the top of the trees. I'm like, wait, is that what I think it is? And you were like, what are you talking about? I was like, no. The guy's like clearly there. Like you could clearly see like, this middle-aged like white guy there. And then I went back and then we both watched and he started to move. So clearly there is a human person there.
Fiend! Fiend! To love the cat is to be the cat.
What does that even mean?
I guess to be like predator or like pussy, like it's some sort of cat pun. I don't fucking know, dude. But what I do know is if we're ever big enough to make merch, we are just making a shirt that says, to love the cat, you need to be the cat, with zero context.
Ay.
Oh my god, look in the corner. Is that the lighting guy?
Oh my. Is it?
Oh my god, is that like the boom guy? Because he's like hiding in the tree branch.
Oh my god. All right, hit play so we can see, like maybe he's moving.
He is! Oh my god!
He is! Oh my god!
And then he goes away because he realizes it's in the shot. Oh no!
Yeah. We've been saying embarrassing a lot, but like, this is just basic shit. I know this thing only costs like $10K, but like, my god, there are college films that don't make these kinds of mistakes.
Yeah, it just... Like, here's, like, my biggest thing, and again, I can't believe it's for this film. This is the one where I'm gonna have, like, my filmmaking commentary and put on my little monocle. But there's a thing, like, when you do photography that's called, like, rule of thirds, in terms of, like, where you want to kind of focus your area on when you're taking, like, pictures of people, or, like, any other subject. This, like, fails rules of third, because there's, like, so many times where, like, yeah, like, it kind of focuses on the girls, but also, like, not really. It's framed in a way, like, there's, like, a lot of headspace, like, like, if you're shooting this, and again, this kind of makes me sound sleazy, is you want to focus on the girls, right? You want to focus on their bodies. And it's just, like, the same, like, wide frame, and you just see, like, the whole background, because clearly, we gotta see this, elaborate graveyard set that we put together. And then it's like, it follows the girls, but it doesn't really like frame the girls there. So like
It follows them, but they aren't like the focus of the shot like they should be.
no, they aren't. Oh, and also like that one shot where you clearly tell the camera operator started to drop the camera. I was like, oh shit!
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, other than that, and then you have like the out of focus shots, but it fails like on a basic film making level. The clapboard and the boom hand is one thing, and like, look, that's happened in like big budget production films. Like up until recently, with the advent of CGI, and you can just rotoscope people out. If someone got in the shot, it happens. Like, oh, you hope no one will notice. But on a fundamental level, like, it's so boring to look at. Like, it's like no cuts. Like, we don't have like quick intercuts. It's like someone is like holding the camera or the camera's on a tripod and they just hit record. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. It was just so much nothing. Like 90% of this is just the awkward dance. And I don't think we've stressed enough how bad these dances actually are.
And the fact that we can't show it for like, because first of all, we're an audio podcast, and if I posted that to my YouTube channel, like I would definitely get, I don't have any monetization, but I really don't feel like a channel strike.
But these dances are all just so awkward and stilted, and just like you could tell that the dance choreographer was fired during this, because this is some of the worst attempts at dancing I've ever seen.
And also,
it just goes
on and on
and on. Like every single one of these dance numbers goes on from anywhere to like 5 to 10 minutes. And there's moments where you think it's going to end, but nope.
Nope, we're going to loop it again. And here's like the other credence why I think these were just porn actors. Because I think that's part of the dancing. Like, I don't think they actually hired exotic dancers. They just hired like, porn actors or, people. Like, I don't think they hired anyone that actually like did that for a living.
No, absolutely not. And like everything else here is just so amateurish. Like there's that one scene with like the girl who's like obsessed with gold, so they like take a bucket and like start dropping these quote unquote gold coins on her, and they're clearly like either plastic or like they just bought them at like the dollar store. Like it's so obvious. And like the Wolfman, there are shots where you could clearly see his neck beneath the mask. Like they didn't even like try to cover it up. And like, yeah, there's one other instance of like the stock footage, like the stock image of like a rattlesnake.
And like the vibe that both of us kind of felt, the way the stock footage was like framed and cut, it felt like an old school SpongeBob episode.
Yeah, that's about as close as I could call it. Which, by the way, sorry, but going back to the snake for a bit, the stock footage of the rattlesnake showed up during like the Hawaiian girls dance, right? Why would a rattlesnake be associated with someone from Hawaii?
Which I don't think rattlesnakes are even indigenous to that area. Like,
no, that's what I mean. Like, why would you?
I don't know. Like, it almost felt like they had like the Mexican dancer, whatever, and then maybe it was going to be like Mayan, and then they're like, oh shit, we did Mexico twice.
Ay.
I don't know why I just started singing the like Pillar Man song. Probably because we're talking about bass drop.
Oh boy. And like all these like gigantic blunders just distract from the fact that the story itself is just a bunch of nothing. It's just a bunch of awkward dances while people awkwardly look on. And then it all comes to a conclusion when not Elvira finally gets her own little dance number, and oh
my god.
It's like Honey spends the entire movie being like, I don't want to wait any longer. The sun is almost up, because like their thing is that like when the sun comes out, then, the party's over. But then she just takes her sweet time, like dancing around awkwardly with her knife.
Right after she's told, like, rush, like, go quickly.
The time is short.
For what?
Your pleasures, of course.
You mean,
You may take her now.
is there time?
Oh,
You
here we
better hope
go.
there is.
Thank you, Master. Thank you.
Now hurry, hurry. I will watch. Your desires may be my pleasure also. Our fitting climax to an evening's entertainment. You must hurry now.
Oh, I think this is it.
Yes, it is. Yes, look at her hurry.
It's even better with the context.
I know. God damn it.
Like,
Also, I thought he had his ropes loose. Like, why is he not, like, kicking this bitch in the, her ovaries? Like, why? He's like, oh, God. My dick's too hard. I can't do anything. Sorry, baby.
for being such a hurry throughout this whole thing, she is really taking her sweet time with this.
Well. Oh, God. It's like, oh my God, just make out already. Like, we get that you're a lesbian. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, I guess she's melting.
Well, okay then.
Hey, you want to make bets? That's just the skeleton from earlier that they just dressed up.
Oh, I would not be shocked. Well, there goes the wolfman and the mummy.
Oh, it's the same skeleton again!
So then, of course, the sun comes out, and then they all turn into skeletons, which I'm pretty sure is probably the same one that they use throughout the entire movie. It is just there's no point in talking about this story. It is such a nothing burger. It's like, I get that this movie wasn't trying to be high art. I get that it was probably trying to be like, ooh, look, titties. But like, even from that sense, it's just a complete failure because it is shot in a way that makes everything so unsexy.
And it's like the same thing. There's like no variety. Like, I said this like several times watching this. You would think. And I guess in the Catgirl sequence, we had a little bit of dry humping, so I guess that was partially addressed. But you would think they would have some sort of like stripper pole or like some sort of like graveyard like stage, something that they could like actually like dance with, like some sort of prop. But no. So then it's just them, oh, we're gonna, awkwardly dance in the grass. And it's the same thing again and again and again and again and again and again and again.
Yeah, like I said before, every single one of these things goes the exact same way. Awkward dancing, hard cut to the creepy psychic, hard cut back, oh, now she's topless, more awkward dancing for like 10 more minutes, while everybody just kind of like awkwardly ogles and then done. Ooh, I didn't even mention the other basic blunder that happened. So I mentioned the one lady from before that was like dancing with gold. Well, at one point they turn her into a gold statue, which it's not even a statue because she's clearly still moving. So like, Thing 1 and Thing 2 are carrying her back to the mausoleum, and as they're walking out of the mausoleum, you can clearly see both of them have gold paint on their shoulders.
I know, like, they didn't even wait for her to dry.
And then, like, the main guy, like, for most of half of the movie, you could see, like, there's a splot of blue paint on his head. It's like, this is the most basic shit. How did nobody catch any of this? Was there even an editor?
Well,
Like,
because I've actually worked with film, it takes like a week or two to like develop the film. And judging from Ed Wood's history, it might have taken a little bit longer to get that film developed. They got it back and they were like, fuck. And they just went, you know what? Who cares? Just shove it together somehow.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, this is a guy who by this point had already been doing movies for over a decade. This was the most basic shit that was going wrong, like from the sound design to the acting and dialogue to just basic things like the actual like camera crew being in the shots noticeably. I asked this with a lot of movies, like, what was the purpose to any of this? I genuinely have no idea what the purpose was to any of this.
Yeah, to quote Cardi B, what was the reason?
Oh God! Like,
And you know, at the time we're recording this, the Homestuck pilot came out, and I love how both this and the Homestuck pilot have basically the same story issues. Is where just nothing happens. Although of Homestuck, you can kind of, if you squint really closely, sort of kind of see a plot, and that shit's only 11 minutes, so it's like whatever. Also, I just don't care about Homestuck. Sorry, like I haven't even read it. I just knew it was a thing that exists. I don't give a fuck about it. But anyway, it's just so much of this is just so like painfully awkward. It's like, why? Like, what was the reason for doing this? Like, you didn't titillate me. The dialogue is atrocious, and like, oh, the main guy is so clearly like Ed Wood's like self insert, where he's talking about poetry and like all that fucking bullshit. It's just like, oh, come on, dude.
It's like, Ed, you've put yourself in your own movies before. You could have just been the main guy. Like, oh yeah, and that's not even getting into Criswell. Oh God.
I think that's we should get into that, because he's arguably the real star of the show.
He spends the entire runtime of this thing just sitting in his chair saying some like cryptic bullshit. Just these dumb non sequiturs that mean absolutely nothing. And he just spends the entire movie just ogling the girls.
He has the most anime-ass dialogue I've ever heard in my life. Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like some anime fucking dialogue. It is like the most out there, like, bullshit.
This pleases me. He says that like 20 times.
I know, all according to Keikaku. That means plan. But that's what he was, like, literally, like, his whole thing is, his plan is Keikaku. Like, I don't even know, like, what his plan was, but, he has, like, literally, like, that same stance, like, I am villainous. Yes. I am evil. Yes.
Yeah, like, his whole plan is just like, oh, get the dead girls to dance awkwardly in front of me. So now we have to kill this one girl, which, by the way, I mentioned before that the name Shirley is a recurring one in Ed Wood's films because that was his alter ego when he cross-dresses. Yeah, the main girl in this is named Shirley.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mr. Creepy Psychic guy, his whole thing is like, well, kill her and add her to my army of topless dancer girls.
Oh, you know what I just noticed now and I just realized? There was not one lap dance in this movie.
Nope. And as we mentioned before, even though this movie's called Orgy of the Dead, there ain't no sex. Nothing even close.
Yeah, it's like no touch sex. It's like, what? Why? Like, literally, I could write something, because I'm sorry, I'm mildly a degenerate. I will admit to that. But literally, I could probably flip a movie on TV and randomly find something with like a sex scene in it, and it would be at least, serviceable compared to this.
Yeah, this had to have been the least, like, sexy thing you could ever see. I genuinely do not know who this movie is for, other than Ed Wood, obviously.
Yeah, clearly, of that pretentious ass dialogue at the beginning, he was clearly proud of this.
We sure picked the wrong night to find a cemetery. Let's turn back.
No. It's
Oh,
on a night
some
like
grade
this
A
when the
acting
best
here.
ideas come to mind.
But does it have to be in a cemetery?
You wouldn't understand. Seeing a cemetery on a night like this can stir in the mind the best ideas for a good horror story.
Oh boy.
But there's so many wonderful things to write about, Bob.
Sure there are, and I've tried them all. Plays, love stories, westerns, dog stories.
Oh,
Now, there was
we're
a
already in
dog
special
story all about-
territory.
Horror stories. Why all the time
Oh,
horror stories?
boy.
Shirley, I wrote for years without selling a single word. My monsters have done well for me. You think
My
I'd give that
monsters
up
have
just
done
so I
well
could
for
write
me.
about trees or dogs or daisies? Daisies. That's it. I'll write about my creatures who are pushing up the daisies.
Oh god, they did all this in like
Your
one
Puritan
take, didn't
upbringing
they?
holds you back from my monsters, but it certainly doesn't hurt your art of kissing.
Oh no.
Oh, my.
My kisses are alive.
Who's to say my monsters aren't alive?
I feel like this is the
Oh
one that's gonna send you
my.
over the edge.
All of my books and stories are based on fact.
Oh
or
my
legend.
god, this is talking.
That's perhaps why they're more interesting and sell in the top spots.
Okay, Ed,
Well,
I
thanks
see
not.
your
I don't see how
self-insert
we're
in
gonna
here.
find
You
an
can't
ancient
pull the wool
cemetery
over
in these
my
mountains
eyes.
tonight. I can't see a thing. Let's turn back.
It's like, I realize we are trying to, like, critique a movie called Orgy of the Dead, but, like, some of the shit that goes wrong here is just so basic. And, like, even in stuff like War of the Worlds, things happened.
And in here, things decidedly did not happen.
There was, in fact, no Orgy of the Dead.
I just feel so betrayed. Like, again, like, you would think they would at least have, like, some kissing or, like, a little bit of, like, girl on girl or, like, at least a lap dance. But no. This is just, like, erotic dancing. Like, there is no sex here. Like, if it wasn't for the full frontal nudity, like, this thing wouldn't be rated R. Like, I'm just being honest.
Like, it's weird to say that a movie where pretty much every woman has their boobs out at one point, like, that you would call it safe. But that's what it felt like. Like, from the fact that they disrobe off screen to, like, not even taking off the panties, like, everything just felt so weirdly safe.
Yeah, it feels like so safe and weird. Like the only time that you see like a girl like strip on screen, it was the cat girl. And that's only because her tits were already out.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, every other girl, it's just like awkward dance, cut away, cut back. Oop, she's naked now. Or not even really naked.
I mean, she's like mostly naked, but it's like the least sexy edging I can possibly imagine. Because you're like edging to like a crusty old cave. We're in the Krusty Krab here, and the Krusty crew is nowhere to be found.
So, would you call this the new worst one we've watched, or does that still belong to War of the Worlds? Because, like, in a lot of ways, this felt worse. Because at least in War of the Worlds, things happened.
You know what? And this is gonna sound bad to say, I still think War of the Worlds is worth. You know what? I'm actually kind of torn because I feel like on one hand, this is worse in that it's boring and like War of the Worlds, like stuff actually happened, but I kind of feel like as a movie, War of the Worlds is a bigger failure because clearly there were some sense of ambitions. I don't think this had any ambitions other than being like a peep show. So I feel like they're both bad for like unique reasons.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like, this was clearly Ed Wood just wanting to
Get off.
force some ladies he found at the local strip joint to like disrobe for a little bit, and then decided to subject the rest of America to it.
Yeah, he's like, I want to see titties and get really drunk. But you know what? Blaming alcoholism aside, I mean, hey, it's just like, I get it, dude. I really do, but God, you could have at least tried.
And like the other thing too is that you have to remember this is a 60-year-old movie compared to one that's not even like 5 years old. Like with all the advances in technology and editing and everything else, War of the Worlds still ended up being as bad as it was.
Yeah, and also, I don't think we mentioned this, because we found this out after the fact. War of the Worlds, I feel like, has the edge because it uses actual scenes of like people dying in military accidents and like actual war footage that they just put little CGI like robots into.
Well, hey, at least when Ed Wood uses stock footage, he doesn't change it at all.
That is true. And he uses people that have been deceased for like quite a minute.
Oh boy.
So I guess I would say on like a morality thing, I feel like World of Worlds is worse because I feel like it did more things that like offended, my sensibilities as a person, along with it just being like absolute dog shit filmmaking. Where this, it's just bad porn.
Yeah. Yeah. I can. Yeah. Yeah.
But man, we're kind of hitting like 2 for 2, and we might be going 3 for 3 for our next spooky treat.
Oh boy. That one. This is a movie I found months ago. Now the time's finally arrived.
Oh, yes, it has. It is time. Well, it's almost time. God, I forget what the fuck Cresco Cream fucking said, but normally we don't do this, but there's really nothing more to talk about. So I feel like it's okay. We can get a little teaser. So next time on the crap, we're gonna talk about Axum, quote unquote, the room of horror movies. So I have a feeling we're gonna have a much better time with that one.
God, please, I hope so. Because, like, here's the thing. Like the old saying goes, a movie can be bad, it just can't be boring. Like, the worst thing a movie can be is boring. Because when you have something like, say, Dragon Lives Again, that, yes, it is a bad movie, but it's entertainingly bad. Or, again, like something like The Room. It's like, as long as you're having fun watching it, then okay. But like, especially during this, I was just like, oh my God, when is it going to be over?
Yeah, I think this is one of the few movies that we've watched here that I would say wholeheartedly has been bad.
Just boring, amateurish garbage. But oh boy, I've only seen like a couple of shots of Axum, and fingers crossed, I think we're going to be in for a good time.
All right. Well, unlike this, we'll leave you with a little bit of titillation with that. But I think we're pretty much wrapped up here. So, Gio, where can everyone find you?
Well, if you feel like seeing the menagerie of OC art that I've gotten done lately, you could find me at evking13.bsky.social if you so desire.
And you can find my menagerie of madness at crazylemur.bsky.social. I'm also on Instagram at Lemur's Rule 1, where I'm finally being a good girl and regularly using Instagram with my dog photos and other stuff, and have a bunch of cool personal life things happening. So I talk about that on Instagram and on my Blue Sky account, things that are actually like film related, my actual thoughts, but not ones too spicy because I don't feel like fighting with people on the internet. I'm too old, I can't do that shit, so I'm not. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this spooky whatever the heck this was. And we will see you all next time.
Woo.
What the hell is this? This is like the most depressing cha-cha slide. Oh, hold on, honey.
Oh,
Whoa,
wait,
it's a little too
we're
exciting
cooking
here.
now. Wait, hold up. To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left,
to the left, to the left. Now twist, now twist. This twist, now twist.
Now walk it by yourself.
Exactly. Now walk it by yourself. God damn it, this commentary is gonna be unhinged.